Hi, Melanie Dewberry here. I wanted to just talk to you for a bit about self-confidence, self-esteem, and really what I want to talk to you about is the conversation around being afraid to get your work out there. I call it your art, whatever your art is, whether it's designing toilet seat covers, or if you're a poet, designing roads, animation, whatever it is that you know is your original medicine, your medicine to bring into the world. So many of us are fearful about being seen, about being visible, wondering what people will think, if they'll think we're a fool, if we'll look stupid. Something our parents said to us when we were young come back to us. Something our teacher said. My teacher in 7th grade told me, and actually all the children of color, all the girls of color in 7th grade told me that I should be a maid and I shouldn't get my hopes up. And he told all the boys of color that they should be landscapers, as though being a maid or landscapers can't be art. Of course, you can still bring your medicine, your art into the world. But what he was trying to do was to instill a fear in me, a lack of self-confidence, a lack of self-esteem. And so those can be really typical reasons that people think, just go do it, take the leap, and you got to be courageous. And let me just get real with you for a moment, because I've been thinking about this for a while. The reason why we're not doing our work in the world isn't because we don't have self-esteem and confidence. It's because, and I'm now going to switch from we to you, I'm going to say it's because you haven't fallen madly in love with yourself. You haven't fallen madly in love with your art. Because when you love your art, whatever that is, you don't want to be apart from it. It's like a lover. I mean, you're getting the biggest orgasm you can have. You don't ever want to be away from it. You don't ever want to tear yourself away. You haven't gotten yourself drunk on it. It's like being on LSD, as though I know what that is, but it's a beautiful trip. It's like a flower blooming. You have to spread your pollen. And so those of us who are doing our art and coveting it and not sharing it, or I don't want to sell it, or I don't want people to see it, and that's a bunch of bullshit. You're not doing your art because you just don't love it enough. The focus is still on you and your brain and your you-ness out in the world. And it's not about your medicine. It's not about what you're creating. It's not about this beauty that wants life, that really only you can give it. And so you can do it, and you can say, well, I'm doing my art, but I'm just not sharing it. I'm not ready to share it. I don't want to share it. I don't want to sell it. I'm just going to keep it here. And it's not about the saleability of it, but there is something that the art will ask of you, and it will say, bring me to life. Not only give me life, but bring me out into the world. Let me give healing and love to all the people that can see, touch, experience me. And that's what you're not experiencing. That's what you're not giving yourself to. So it's not about what your parents said to you when you were in 3rd grade, or your self-esteem, or the fact that you're an introvert. You can create that story, and your art will never live. See, the thing is, the more you fall in love with your art, your sense of esteem and confidence rise into proportion, not the other way around. It's not about, well, when I feel better about myself, or when I have proof that people really love what I do, and I'll tip my toe into the water, and then I'll run away and see if people really like it, and if one person says they hate it, well, then I'm just not going to do it. It's not that. The more you love your art, the more you give yourself to the art, and the two of you, that being that you're creating, because it is a live, energetic being, and you creating it together, the more love you have, more confidence you have in your art. It's never been about you, my love. It's never been about them and what they have to say. That's not why we create in the world. We create because we have to. Because it's our medicine, as the rest of the world's. Because we have to have that love. Because without that love, without the existence of that other being, we're kind of flatlined. So it doesn't matter what your art is. I don't care if you're an accountant, or like I said earlier, you design toilet seat covers, or you're a poet or a musician, a coach, a healer, a shaman, a mystic. Without your love for your own art, your stories will keep perpetuating themselves, and you can keep telling yourself you're afraid. It's not you're afraid of your art. You're afraid to fall in love with your art. Just my thought. Love to hear yours. Facebook me away. Let me know what you think. Thanks a lot.